Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. This is James, and thank you for joining us today. It is questions time. Today is the day for your questions about YouTube. We have a bunch of questions already set up in case people don't come by. Or if there's just not that many questions coming in, we do have a few questions to go through ourselves. But we thought we would open it up today and just have an open panel and allow people to ask their questions about YouTube and how to get started as a YouTuber, how to grow as a YouTuber, whatever it is your questions are about YouTube. That's what we're going to be answering today. So say hello in the chat. Hope you're having a great day. Today's question of the day is, what is your biggest challenge right now as a YouTuber? If you're just starting out or if you've been at it for a while, what are you struggling with? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what it is you're struggling with. Those comments, those questions are what drives a lot of the content we're creating right here on the Content Conversations and helping us to find what people are looking for. So with that, let's get the show rolling today. Today's show is brought to you by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is our favorite platform to help find opportunities to grow your channel. You can research your audience, you can understand how other people's videos are performing in your niche, and it'll show you even step by step how to optimize your channel and optimize your content for successful search, rankings, and growth. And don't forget, if you're under 1,000 subscribers and you get the Pro plan, you can start using this for 50% off today. Get started right now and start using TubeBuddy to find the opportunities you need for your channel. Hey! And we do recommend TubeBuddy. We love TubeBuddy. I've been using TubeBuddy for several months now. It has been a huge help in us finding opportunities to rank and search. So check them out. There is also a link down in the description below to TubeBuddy. And so we're going to dive into questions. And so I've got some questions already here that people are asking. There's also a form. If you're on the live stream, there's a form in the chat to our Google form where you can fill it out and ask your questions. You can also just leave your comments in the chat and let me know what questions you have about your YouTube channel. What are the struggles you're having? What is it that you would like help with as you're trying to grow your channel? So one of the questions we were asked was, how do you get suggested traffic to your YouTube channel? This is one of the questions that somebody asked us just the other day, and it's something a lot of people struggle with. And it's something that one of the things that you find is that there's two main ways for YouTube to send you traffic. You're going to have search traffic where YouTube shows you up in search, but then you also have the suggested traffic or recommended traffic where it shows up in the home page or it shows up on other people's videos. And how do you get in those places? One, it's volume. Volume of content. This is where you really have to pump out a library of content so that you have a lot of consumable content for people to come back and watch. And then two, it's all about compelling titles and thumbnails. This is why we talk about having those viewer-based keywords, having those viewer-based search terms that people are looking for. If you want to show up in recommended content, you have to have something that people want to click on. That means you're going to have a high click-through rate, and you're going to have to really learn how to make really great thumbnails and have titles that are not written based on what the features of your video are. This is one of the big mistakes we were making with our content, is we were focused on the features. But now we've started shifting more towards where our titles and our thumbnails are focused more on what's the benefit, we talk about your value proposition and making it about the benefit to the user. The same thing is true for your titles and your thumbnails. What's the benefit the user is going to get out of watching this video? What is it that's either identifying their emotional problem and making an emotional connection? This is why, I know a lot of people don't like the thumbnails with all the weird faces and stuff. I don't particularly like them either, but the reason I use them is because they tend to work. Those seem to be some of my highest performing thumbnails as far as getting clicks and getting people to come check out our content. But it's something you've got to do in the right way. You've got to be making the right emotional connection for the particular query that people are looking at, or that for what information people are in the process of consuming. So you've got to make that emotional connection with your title and your thumbnail. Your thumbnail should tell a story based on what your title is about. It does not need to be the exact same words. In fact, it shouldn't be the exact same words. Your thumbnail should have 2 or 3, maybe 4 at the most words, and they need to be as big and bold. They should take up about 1/3 to 2/3 of that thumbnail should be your text, as big and bold as you can, clean lines, and make them really, really try to be something that's going to make an emotional connection. It might just be text on the thumbnail. One of my highest performing ones was just a picture and an arrow pointing that picture and says, "Don't panic over this." And I underlined this. It's one of my highest performing thumbnails. It's currently still performing at about 9% click-through rate on that thumbnail. It was at about 12 to 15% at a time. But as your impression rate goes up, that click-through rate will go down. But if you're small like me, you're going to probably get a low impression count with those kind of thumbnails. But the best way to get up there is just keep putting out content and keep improving that content every step of the way. It's one of the things we talk about all the time. It's one of the number one answers to growth on YouTube is just keep improving every single piece of content. It's not just about pumping out content as fast as you can. It's about improving that content every step of the way. So if you're doing that, you're going to create more compelling titles. You're going to create more compelling thumbnails, and people are going to agree. One of the things is just look at the thumbnails already being used in your niche. Look at what other people are doing on your thumbnails. Most of what I do, and if you're trying to learn how to make thumbnails, here's another thing. If you're trying to learn how to make thumbnails, don't go to YouTube and search how to make better thumbnails. Instead, because I was making this mistake and I kept finding the same videos over and over again. Instead, what you do is you study the thumbnails in your niche that are getting a lot of views. And then you say, okay, I like that they did right there on that thumbnail, and figure out how they did that. Like one of the things was, the outline around the person. I just recently started doing that because I just recently learned how to do it. And that's how I learned how to do it. I typed into YouTube and searched for videos on how to create the outline around a person in Canva, which is the software that I'm using to create my thumbnails. And so I watched a few videos on how to do it, and mine aren't perfect. I'm still improving my skill. I'm still developing the skill on how to do it, but I've started doing that. And I've noticed since I started doing that on my click-through rates have gone up on my thumbnails. So that's one of those things. You see, pick out those elements that you like and search how to do those techniques and focus on learning the techniques to make better thumbnails. That's one of the things we've been studying a lot lately. I've been going through tons and tons of tutorials on Canva and on how to do these different techniques with our thumbnails. So if you are here, say hello. If you have any questions about your YouTube channel, make sure you leave us a question. And we will be taking questions from y'all today. And so next question, this one was a good one. This one actually came from one of Dean Emmons' lives the other day, but I thought it was a really good question, so I thought I'd kind of bring it up here, is how do you set your channel up for expansive growth? And this is huge, and I actually did an entire live stream on this. One of the first shows we did on the Conversations on Content was all about this, but just very briefly, it means in order to really set your channel up for expansive growth, we've been talking a lot about collabs lately. And if you're doing collaborations, there's a good chance you could get a huge amount of traffic from doing a collab if you do it the right way. But is your channel set up for that growth? Are you set up to accept all that traffic and to hold and keep that audience that's coming to check out your channel? So by creating your content and optimizing your content well. This is where, again, titles and thumbnails, really, really important for capturing the attention of those people coming to check out your channel. But two, are you setting your channel up so that you're featuring your best content? Remember, that homepage is like the window of your store. If you go to a store, they don't put the scraggly stuff in the window for people that are walking by to see. They put their best stuff that they have in the store is what's in that window display. And this is kind of the same thing that you need to look at when you're setting up your YouTube channel. Put your header banner should be very clear and concise. Everybody that sees that banner instantly within seconds should know exactly what your channel is about. That's why we have that value proposition. If you look at mine, it says we help you build a better YouTube channel. We help you to engage your audience, and we help you to profit with your YouTube channel, because those are the kind of things that we teach here through our content. But you've got to be very clear and concise about what you're doing. And then once you fit that value proposition, every single piece of content on your channel needs to fit that value proposition, or it needs to be taken off your channel. If it doesn't fit that value proposition, it needs to be removed from your channel. And you might change the value proposition. I know a lot of people that do. I'm working on redoing mine again. But when you have that clearly defined reason for people to watch your content, then the people that are interested in that are going to stick around and see what you have to say. And then with your channel trailer, the first thing that somebody that's an unsubscribed viewer, because this is what we're talking about, how do we get more subscribers when they come? Those are going to be mostly unsubscribed viewers. Do you have your best piece of content for converting subscribers right there in your channel trailer? You should have the best piece of content that's converting subscribers. If the subscribers is what you want, then you need to have your best converting subscriber content right there. So whatever, you can look in your analytics and sort your content by most subscribed. Whatever piece has the most subscribers to it, that's the piece of content you put right there on your channel trailer, because that's what's going to drive subscribers into your channel. Now, if you're small, that piece of content might have 3 subscribers versus your other subscribers have 1 or none. And that's okay, because it's still your highest converting piece. This is something you review periodically. I look at that stuff about once a week on my channel. And if I need to change it, I change it. And if I don't need to change it, I just leave it alone. But I look into that stuff at least once a week on my own channel. I do a deep dive into my analytics once a week, really digging into my analytics, trying to learn as much as I can about how the audience is reacting. And we're making decisions on our channel based on those analytics. If you notice, this is my second time live this week. If you look at my homepage, I've already got 2 more live streams this week scheduled. Why? Because the highest performing content on my channel is my live streams. My highest performing views, my highest performing watch time, my highest subscribe ratio, it's all on my live streams. 8 of my top 10 videos on my channel are live streams. And so we've been contemplating this, and we've been seeing this trend for a while. And one of the decisions we made is we are going to start performing more and more of our content live. We're going to be doing more and more live streams right here on our channel, because that's what's working the best for us. And I don't like editing. I can do it, and I can do a decent job, but I'm not great at it. But that is one of those things. Put your best foot forward. Are you doubling down? Are you creating the content that the viewers you already have are consuming, and that's connecting with other people? And the more you do that, then the more you're going to be able to take advantage of those people coming into your channel. Do you have a subscribe button right there in your banner so that when people come in, or do you have links outside of YouTube? That's one of the big things. You get a flood of traffic to your channel and all the links on your banner are sending people off of YouTube. You just lost most of that traffic, and they're not coming back to your channel. They might come back to YouTube, but they're probably not coming back to your channel. So you want to optimize that banner to capture subscribers, to capture people and keep them on your channel. If you're small, if you're a little bit bigger, You can get away with putting your Twitter link up there, your social media profiles up in there. But if your job, if you're small, if you're under, say, 10,000 subscribers, you need to be keeping people on your channel, not sending them to somebody else's channel and not sending them off of YouTube. Hello, Marie. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining us. We are answering viewer questions today. So if anybody's got questions about YouTube, make sure you're putting them down in the chat, and we will get to them as soon as we can. We got a bunch of questions already. I went through and got a whole list of questions out of comments, emails people have sent me, other groups that I'm in. So that's kind of what you need to do to set it up, is just kind of look at your overall optimization. Again, I have a link. I have my other YouTube channel. Hello, Brandon. I have my first live stream was actually about how to set your channel up for successful growth. And it was very inclusive. So there was a lot of stuff in there. I spent an hour and a half breaking down how we set up our channel to capture people in case we do get that viral video, or we do get that content, that we do a collaboration that brings a ton of people to our channel. We specifically set it up to capture those people. 2020 was a crazy year last year, and there's a lot of people that didn't take advantage of the opportunities that they had. And I did the same thing. When I had my first collaboration, we got way more traffic than what we actually captured and kept on our channel, because we weren't set up for it. We only had about 5 or 6 videos on our channel. They weren't well optimized. At the time, I thought they were doing great content, but now I look back at them, as I've grown as a creator, as I've grown as a producer of videos, I realize how bad those videos were. No wonder nobody stuck around and watched them. Hello, Amber. Hello, Tommy. Hope you and Des are doing well. I kind of lurked, but I did step in on Dez's show yesterday. So hope y'all are doing fantastic. But yeah, I mean, if you're putting it out there, if you're optimizing those things well, you're putting those banners in there, you're having your content link from one piece to the next piece to the next piece, so that when they finish a video, are you linking people to go in the same direction? So for example, we have a info card, we have the end screen, I can do a pinned comment, I have a link in my description. All of those links, the first link that they see everywhere they go, whichever one of those places they click on a link, it's going to send them to the same piece of content. And the reason why is, if I've got 5 different links and they're going to 5 different places, then it kind of dilutes the effect of what we're doing. But YouTube looks at all those links the same. So if I have all 5 of those links, and no matter which link they click on, it's all going to the same place, then YouTube's going to see that and say, oh, look, they watched this piece of content and they automatically watch this piece of content. So that's going to tell YouTube these 2 pieces of content are highly relevant to each other. And then that means more content like this. And this is also one of those things about getting in recommended content. One of those things is, if you're recommending your own content through those links, then YouTube's going to know what kind of content to recommend your content next to get the best effect. And then again, it may be showing up. One of the things that you have to look at is your analytics. I see so many people that say, oh, YouTube's not showing my content, when that's just not the case. And let me pull up my channel real quick. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we go in here to my analytics. Let's just pull up. We'll just pull up one of my last videos. Go to the analytics. All right. And let's get back to StreamYard. Share the screen. All right. So we're going to share this real quick. And all right. So right here is your impressions. 236 impressions. This one's not performing. It's kind of gone down. It was performing better than that, but it's dropped down to 5.5%. But your impressions rate. This is how many times YouTube has shown this video to another potential viewer. A potential viewer, 236 impressions. Unless that impression rate is zero, YouTube is trying to show your video to people. They just may not be clicking on it and watching it. Just because you're not getting views doesn't mean YouTube isn't trying to show it to people. So you may be showing up in recommended and just nobody's clicking on it. You might be showing up in search, just nobody's clicking on it. So just because you're not getting traffic doesn't mean YouTube's not trying to show it. Look at that impressions count right there. That impressions count should always be going up. You know, we're going up. It's going a little bit better than usual, but it's still not where I want it to be. This impression click-through rate dropped. I need to work on changing that thumbnail. And then we also look at our audience retention. The two most important things for your views is your retention, is your click-through rate and your retention. So like this one, 56% after the first 30 seconds, which is actually kind of standard. And it just kind of slowly dropped off. You know, it wasn't a huge drop. It's still right around 30% at the end, which isn't too bad for some of these videos. So the retention is actually not too bad on this one. I still want it to be a little bit better. I'm still getting a little bit more drop off in the beginning than I want. But then I go back and I look at these places where there was huge drops and I start looking at them and really digging into why I lost people in those places. You know, this is one of the things I've said before is the answers to a lot of these questions is in your analytics. 90% of the questions people ask me, the answers are found by reading your analytics and seeing how people are responding to your content. How do we improve our channels? It all starts with the content. It comes down to the content, but think about your content. Your thumbnail is part of your content. Your title is part of your content. Your title, your thumbnail, the hook. Those are the three keys to getting people on and keeping them watching. And those three things need to work together to get people interested in what you're saying and get them watching long term. You're still going to have some drop off. And the other thing was when they're showing up in search, here's something to think about. When they're comparing how your titles and thumbnails are working, it's not a cut and dried thing because it's not a specific, oh, if you have this percentage of drop off, we're not going to show your video. What it is they're comparing the performance of your video to the performance of the other videos ranking for the same term or in recommended showing up in the same place. So if you're, say, watching another channel's video, say, you know, Brendan's here, he does YouTube advice. If you were watching Brendan's channel and one of my videos was in the recommended content, but then right next to that was Nick Nimen's video, and right next to that was Brian G. Johnson's video, which one of those videos is getting the most clicks from his channel? Okay. That is going to determine, they're going to look at that. So, okay, when we showed these videos, this one got the most clicks. And then they're going to look at, well, when we showed this video next to this video, this is the watch time that video got. They're looking at this data. This is why you need to read your analytics, because that's how YouTube's making these decisions. They are reading your analytics, so you should, and they're comparing your analytics to the other channels. Well, you can't see the other channels' analytics, so you don't know how theirs is performing, but you do know how yours is. So you're trying to get those numbers up as much as you can. Now, like I know, you know, Nick Nimen, D Nimen, they're really good at keeping people's attention, getting people's attention. I have to compete with them on thumbnails and on titles. So I study how they do their titles, thumbnails, hooks, intros. Why? Because if I can model what I'm doing off of what they're doing, I can learn some of the tricks that they're using. I might do it in my own way. I might be a little bit different than them. But if I can kind of model some of the things that are being successful for them, then I can bring some of that into how mine are performing. So that's what you got to look at in order to get more recommended traffic and get more traffic. So This was an interesting question. What is the best niche on YouTube? And the answer to that question is honestly, what is the niche that you're the most passionate about? What is the niche you can get into a conversation and lose all track of time? What is a niche that you could talk about for hours on end and never stop talking? For me, it's YouTube. I love talking about content. I love talking about creating content, optimizing content. Just the whole area fascinates me, and I can get into conversations for hours and lose all track of time. But some people don't. I know some people that reselling, that is their passion. That is what you get them talking about reselling, and they'll sit there and talk all night long. Me, after a couple of hours of talking about reselling, I get bored. But I know some people right here in the chat, they can talk about it for days and days and days. So it's, what are you most passionate about? What can you get into those conversations about? What do you have knowledge, passion, expertise, and profitability if you want it to be a business? If you want to treat your YouTube channel like a business, which is what we teach people how to do, then you need to have profitability. There are some niches that do really, really well, but don't ever make any money and don't have much chance of making money. They're not very good business niches. They're pure entertainment. They're pure fun. And you can still do well with those. You just can't expect it to become a full-time living. Yep, there's Brandon. I think my favorite type of content to make is live stream channel reviews. Looking forward to do one tomorrow night. Awesome. I will be there. I think I've already got it the reminder set. I actually have my next channel review scheduled for Thursday. I'm going to be doing a Thursday channel review session myself. So I love doing the reviews because you really dig into the specifics of what's going on with the channel, and you can really give more solid advice when you're looking at somebody's channel, and you can really tell them this is something that needs to be fixed. This is, instead of just giving general advice, which is what we do a lot of time on the Q&As, you can get really, really specific on specific problems people have. And I love it. And it's also some of the most popular content on my channel is the channel reviews. Even on replays, you'd be surprised. I mean, I've got a channel review video that I did. Of course, I think part of it was my co-host because Adrian was on with me. We did a bunch of channel reviews the other day. We only had about 60 or 70 views, but that video is like almost 120 views now, all on the replay. Hello, Wasso. Yes, content marketing is very interesting, but I love talking about science. Yeah, whatever you do. And see, that's the thing, is everybody's different. So what's the best niche for you? And this is one of the things, I tell people, find something that you have passion about that is profitable, and that's something you have some experience with. One of the things, and it doesn't have to be much experience either. It can be just a little bit more experience than the brand newbie that doesn't know anything, especially if that's who your target audience is. When I started Storage Scavenger, I had only been doing storage units. I was on like my third or fourth unit when I started the channel. But I had been doing scavenging off and on. I had done eBay off and on for a few years. And I never took the position of being, and this is where positioning is important. Positioning yourself in your niche is huge in how you do things. Even here, I don't position myself and tell people I'm an expert at YouTube. I have passion for YouTube, and I have a little bit more experience than the average user because I've been on the platform on and off for 10 years. But I don't position myself as a guru or as an expert. I'm positioning myself as somebody who's sharing my journey. I'm sharing my journey. I'm sharing my experiences. And if you position yourself that way, one, it frees you up to be not perfect, and you can share your mistakes a lot easier than if you're supposed to be this guru that has it all together. You can share your mistakes, and you can share what you've learned from, and then you can just be building a community of friends and people that have a similar interest to you, and that's going to help you to grow in some ways easier. In some ways, it's harder to grow that way. There's some people that won't trust you because of positioning yourself that way. But I find that there's a lot of people that feel a disconnect between the gurus that started 10 years ago because, quite frankly, they don't understand what the landscape is like right now. Yeah, there's some of the technology that makes it easier, but there's a lot of things that it's different today starting YouTube than it was 10 years ago. And so being in that position where I can really connect with people, uh, and I understand where you're coming from when you talk about some of the struggles because I've been through those struggles myself in just the last few months. It really helps us to engage people better and give sometimes a little bit different advice, but is more relevant to starting today versus starting 10 years ago. So yeah, I'm going to be doing channel reviews on Thursday. Kind of one of the things we're doing is we are revamping our schedule. For those of y'all that came in late, I kind of went over this a little bit, but we are revamping our show a little bit, and we are doing primarily live streams. We might be doing some occasional videos, especially with some of the how-to stuff where I can do some of that a little bit better with recorded video. But we're going to be doing primarily live stream, and a lot of that is because if I looked at my analytics, and I've been thinking about this for a few weeks and really tracking it, 8 out of my top 10 videos right now are all live streams. My number one video on this channel right now is a live stream. And it seems to be getting a better connection. And it's not just views. I'm looking at views, watch time percentage, overall engagement, questions, comments, those kind of things, likes and shares, all of that. Our live streams are our top performing videos on the channel right now. And because of that, we are looking at making a shift and making this primarily a live streaming channel. We are going to be doing shows. I don't know how long this is going to last. We're going to have to see how it works with my schedule and my daughter's schedule, but we're going to try to do a daily show. This is my second time this week. I've got a show set up for tomorrow, which is our inspired tubers that we do every Wednesday. It's all about the mindset of YouTube, the mindset, the mental and emotional connections you make within yourself and how you think about everything you do. Then we're doing channel reviews on Thursday, and we have the Conversations on Content podcast on Friday. Yep. I love to grow with the viewers. Why people say they're trying to reach 1K subs, I can say I already did that on my last channel, but hey, we're doing it again. And I understand exactly what you're saying. We're doing the same thing. Hello, Ms. Eileen. That's my beautiful friend, Ms. Eileen Smith. Y'all need to check her channel out too. She does a lot of great YouTube advice as well as blogging advice. She and I were blogging together 10 years ago. And funny, I was doing a search, Eileen, by the way. I was doing some search earlier today, and one of my blog posts on basic blog tips kept coming up. So it still ranks for search 10 years later. So anyway, but we're taking questions, answering questions that people have. Some of these are questions that people have already asked me. I'm also taking questions today. If anybody does have a question, make sure you put it down in the chat. Well, I've been talking about this a lot. I actually have 5 YouTube channels, but I am backing off right now to just this one. This is going to be my YouTube channel. We're putting all of our attention and focus right here, right now. I'm doing some products in the background. We're working on some services. We're doing some affiliate stuff here. And this is kind of going to become our home. Hello, Don and Mary. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I usually go live in the morning. We're testing different times for our live streams. That's one of the things we're working on is we're decided to make it into a live streaming show. We're testing some different time slots to see what works the best for us. And we got to see what works best for our schedule with Emily and with all of her appointments and nurses and everybody coming and going. So we're trying to test different time slots and different things to see what the best time of day is for us. Hello, Adrian. I hope you're doing well. You're going to switch accounts. So if anybody has any questions, make sure you leave them in the chat. We're going to keep going through some of these questions here. So we've been talking a lot about collaboration. So this one I thought fit right in. I got this one through an email the other day. It says, how can I get a big creator within my niche to collaborate with me? There's a few things. One, we talked about channel optimization just a little bit ago. So make sure your channel is well optimized because they're going to check your channel out. But how are you approaching those creators? What are the things you see? A lot of you have found me because I'm in D Nimmin, Nick Nimmin, Daniel Battal's, Brian G. Johnson's. I'm in all these other guys' live streams all the time, and I'm chatting. I'm not in there saying, "Hey, come check out my channel. Come check out my channel. Hey, collab with me." I'm not doing any of that. That hurts your chances of getting a collab with these guys. They want to ignore you. What you do is you go in there and you help their community. You become a member of their community. I've been getting to know D Nimmin because I've become a member of his community, and I follow him on his live streams here. I'm in his members only area. I'm in his Facebook group. I follow him on Twitter. We communicate there. I follow him on Instagram. We communicate there. I follow his Twitch streams. I follow him everywhere he goes. We're building that relationship. He's given me a ton of advice on this channel specifically. He's helped me a lot with our growth and with our strategy and some of the things that we're doing on the channel. Yes. Yes, I did, Ms. Eileen. In fact, it should be linked in the pinned comments. Yeah, it's linked in the pinned comments. So yeah, we have buy me a coffee set up. We're setting up several different things. One of the things we're doing, I'm actually in the middle of writing an ebook right now. And this was actually a suggestion that somebody gave me during another live stream. And I was already working on it. And so I was like, hey, you're saying to do it. So I'm guessing people want it. I've got a couple of ebooks. One of them we're going to use for an opt-in to get people to build our email list. And once I get it all put together, we're going to show how we do it. I'm actually recording the whole process, which is part of what's slowing me down, because when I slow down to teach how to do something, it always slows down me getting it done. But then I also have another ebook that we're going to sell through Buy Me a Coffee. One of the things I love about their system is you can set up donations, you can also set up memberships, and you can set up other ways for people to connect with you there. It's a great little system that they have set up. I am also looking at, I'm streaming with StreamYard, but I'm looking at maybe doing OBS virtual cam as my camera source through StreamYard once I figure out how to set it all up. Because OBS does give some more options on things we can do that StreamYard doesn't give us. Like I can integrate Buy Me a Coffee so that when people leave a donation, it pops up on the screen, so that I can actually see those coming in. Whereas with StreamYard, I don't have that kind of integration right now. They might add it in, I don't know, but they're trying to keep it simple. So the more of those integrations they have, the less simplicity StreamYard has. And simplicity is one of their key targets here at I was searching for some information, and one of my blog posts on her blog when I was guest posting popped up as a search result for it. You just go into Google and search for something, and whatever shows up shows up. Well, I was searching for something on Google, and one of my blog posts on her blog showed up in the search results. That's how I know that. And you also have Google Analytics. You can look at your analytics and see what's ranking in search. But that's not, I can't look at her analytics. So I didn't know it was still showing up in search. I thought it was crazy. 10 years later, still getting search queries. But welcome back, Black. So, This is an interesting question, and this is a question that a lot of people ask me sometimes. This is why I brought this one up today. It's one of my most frequently asked questions through comments and emails is, does live streaming, if you're doing a video-based channel, pre-recorded content, does live streaming hurt your channel? And honestly, it comes down to one of the things that we've seen, because I've seen it, I've heard pros and cons to this. I've heard a lot of people say if you're doing pre-recorded content and your majority of your content is pre-recorded, that doing live streams hurts your channel. I think what it hurts is it can hurt you if you're doing sporadic live streaming, and not a consistent live stream. If you're doing, again, a consistency, if you're doing, say, a weekly live stream show, it can benefit your channel because it can help your audience. It gets you more engaged with your audience. But one of the things that I've found is with my recorded content and my live streaming content, they're two separate audiences. I generally have different people consuming my live streams than consuming my videos. And there's some people that consume both. So we're not saying that you're not going to get some people, and you might have, as smaller you are, the higher percentage you're going to have of both, but you're going to have, the more you grow, the more you're going to have that. That is another level of fragmenting your audience. So if you're doing primarily live streams, and this is why a lot of really big channels have a separate live streaming channel from their main channel, because they're fragmenting their audience by having a live streaming audience and having a video audience. This is why sometimes you go to live streams and you're like, why didn't this person see the video he put out just the other day on that question? Well, because those people aren't watching those videos. They're probably just watching live streams. There's a lot of people that's all they'll do. They will consume the live streams. They will come in, they will interact with the chat. They love live streams, but they don't watch the regular videos. You get a lot of people that'll come in and they'll watch all of your regular videos, but they'll never come to a single live stream. And then you get some people that do some of both. So that's another fragmentation in building your audience, is building that live stream. And that's where people see it hurting their channel. If you do a consistent live stream, if you're doing a lot of streaming, then that's actually partially true, Brendan, because that bell does not guarantee a notification, believe it or not. Actually, YouTube has even said they only send, even if they click the bell, they only send notifications to a percentage of your viewers up front. That's why sometimes, like, we start a live stream and like a handful of people come in, and then we've been streaming for 45 minutes and we get another wave of people, because those wave of people just got the notification an hour after we went live, because they're going to look at your stats and they're going to see, is anybody watching? Are people interacting? And if so, then we'll send out more notifications. But if not, they may not send out that second round of notifications, or they might send that second round of notifications to people less. It also depends, even if you click the bell, it depends on how much of that content you're consuming. So if, say, I subscribe to your channel and I don't watch your next video because it's not of interest to me. Maybe you do a video on how to do something on your iPhone. I'm not interested in iPhones, so I don't watch that video. Then the next video is another video on how to use an app on your iPhone to live stream. Again, I don't watch that video. Now you've gone 2 videos, I haven't consumed your content. The next video, they're less likely to give me a notification for that video, because the last few videos you put out, I haven't. And then the more videos you put out that I don't click on that notification, the less likely it is for me to get more. So just because they click that bell does not guarantee they will get the notifications. If they don't, and even I've seen people that watch every single video we put out, yet they still sometimes don't get notifications. So I'm not sure exactly how the notification system works. I've asked several times, and even some of the big guys, I've asked D. Nimmin and Nick Nimmin, and I've asked Daniel Batal, and I've asked Brian G. Johnson. They don't even understand it fully. But they do know that sometimes people get the notifications, sometimes they don't. You're more likely to get the notifications the more of that content you're consuming. It does make a difference having that bell, but it's not a guarantee. Hello, Westside Gary. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you for joining us today. So everybody, this is kind of Q&A. So if anybody's got any questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. If you have any questions about how to grow your channel, how to optimize your channel, why you're not getting viewers, give the stream a thumbs up. Thank you, Adrian. We appreciate y'all's support. Thank you, guys. So here's another question that a lot of people ask in different ways. But it's, how long should you keep trying if nobody's watching your content? And I actually had this question earlier today. Somebody was asking, they've been putting out videos for a while. They even shared their link to their video with me. And they have been going for over a year and they've only got 10 subscribers. But this is one of the things that I talk about all the time. You're maybe pumping out content for over a year and building up a lot of videos, and you're like, maybe I should give up and quit. Maybe it's not so much that you should give up and quit, but maybe you should listen to some of what we're telling you to do about optimizing your content. Are you pumping out content for a year, but are you improving your content? Are you improving your strategy? Because I went to look at this channel. The thumbnails were non-existent to terrible. And that's a lot coming from me because my thumbnails aren't that great, but they were just screen grabs. They were poorly made. They had nothing to really entice people to click. Titles were just one or two words. There was no keyword optimization. There was no compelling element. There was no readability to make it look like, a structured sentence. So you've got to structure your titles, one, to be keyword optimized, but two, to be compelling, to give people a reason to click. You've got to connect with people and give them a reason to click. And it has to be about the viewer. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. So I checked out this channel. I looked at their channel trailer. Their channel trailer was all about why they wanted to be successful on YouTube and why they wanted subscribers and what they wanted to get out of the viewers. There was absolutely nothing about what I'm here to give you. Remember, we are here to serve the viewers, not the other way around. The viewers are not there to serve you. You are there to serve the viewers. And if you take that attitude and if you apply this to your channel, you're going to grow. But if you're not making your content for the viewers, and if you're not there to serve your audience and the people you're talking to, then you're going to struggle. People aren't going to watch your content because there's nothing in it for them. When people come to your channel, they are looking at what's in it for them. If I come to your channel to check your channel out, there's got to be something of value to me for me to watch your videos. I'm not coming to watch your videos just for the sake of watching your videos. I got to get something out of it. There's got to be something in it that I want. That's why niching and being specific to a niche is important, because that niche is going to tell people this is what our videos are about. And if I find value in that, if I'm interested in that, there's a lot of channels I don't watch. It doesn't mean they're making bad videos. They're just not anything that's interesting to me. I know a lot of people that make great videos. I'm just not interested in. So, the audience decides whether your content's any good. And you've got to optimize everything you do has to be about serving those viewers. Yes, you should be having a great time. You should be having fun. You should be doing something you're passionate about, but doing it in a way that's serving others, not yourself. Honestly, I'd rather show up and suggested, look what it did for Catherine Manning and many others. So much growth if your content is put on point. That's true. I would love to get up in that suggested search. That's one of the things. Content. I found with the storage scavenger, we started showing up in suggested search. Once we hit about 70 to 75 videos, we had about 500, 600 subscribers on that channel. That's about the point at which we had enough momentum to start showing up in the recommended and suggested search regularly. Why do you have 84 subs? Because, well, I've talked about this in some of my other live streams. One, I've been running 5 other channels. I'm kind of pulling back and just focusing on this one. When you're that distracted by running 5 different channels, it's very slow and hard to grow. And this is a new channel still. I've only been running this channel for 2 months. 84 subscribers in 2 months while running 5 other channels at the same time hasn't been that bad. And 2, I'm not focused on subscriber counts. I'm more concerned with getting my content out there, building my content library right now. My content library, I'm at about 30 videos on my channel right now. I'm trying to get my content library up to 50 videos, which will be there by the end of the month, the way we're doing this live stream structure. And by doing that, we're also continuing to improve every video. It's part of what I was just talking about. Are we not just are you putting out content, are you improving with every video you put out, with every piece of content you put out? That's what's going to keep you growing. That's what's going to get more people interested in what you have to say. Everybody starts at 0. Every single one of us has started at 0. When I started the Storage Scavenger, I started at 0. It took me 5 months to get over 100 subscribers with the Storage Scavenger. I've only been running this channel for a little over 3 months. Happy New Year's. Hello, Scully. Thank you for joining us today, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic day, reading some books. Am I editing the live streams after? Some of them I have edited a little bit, but mostly it's like just trimming the front, and the end. So when I come in and we're kind of waiting on people to come in, and then like this stream, I was on for about 3 or 4 minutes before I played my intro clip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that first couple of minutes to where I played the intro. So that intro is where we're going to jump in. And then we might trim a little bit off the end. But for the most part, I'm not editing them. I'm just leaving them as they are. I am downloading them though, because what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking a play out of Nick Nimen's book. We're going to be doing mostly live streams, but I'm taking those live streams and we're going to be editing the clips. I put out a couple of shorts today. Put it out here, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram Reels. I've already got more views on Instagram Reels and on TikTok than I do here, which I'm not surprised. But they're just clips out of my live stream from yesterday. And that's one of the things that we're doing. We're just taking those. We're also going to do some longer clips, not short videos, but shorter is in, more regular sized videos where we're taking specific topics that we talked about during the live stream and putting those out in clips and doing it that way to get some recorded content and a little bit more edited content out there. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'm not worried about it. There's people that are not going to like me because I just posted my first IG reel today. So we'll see as I learn how to use it. We'll look into it. I recommend looking at Desiree Martinez. She's who I've been watching to learn how to do Instagram reels. But today I just posted my first reels myself. So I don't really know how to use it yet. I don't know what I'm doing. So, but if you're on Instagram, you can follow me over there at, let me see, I got a banner for it. Let me get them up. You can follow all my social media. So you can find me on Twitter at jmpruitt75, Instagram at Conversations on Content, and on our Facebook page at Conversations on Content. That's all of our social media right now. We also have TikTok. I haven't got it up there. We just started TikTok. I've got like 3 shorts up there on TikTok. I've got a couple hundred views on them already. Again, they're just clips out of my live streams. I'm not going fancy on them yet. I'm not, Mr. Fancy Pants like you are doing these amazing shorts. Yay, they finally got you your custom URL. That's great. Keep it simple. also keep it simple. I don't have a complicated setup. I have a ring light. Let me see if I can do this without destroying my entire set. Let's take a tour. Okay, here is my light. It's a simple ring light. I have the big umbrella lights. The ring light is actually better for me than the simple ring light. For the glow in the back, it's a string of Christmas lights that I just have sitting on the floor, running across the floor around the corner. This, my simple microphone, it's a USB microphone, and it's an Audio Technica. This one's an Audio Technica ATR 2100, which they don't make anymore. We do recommend the ATR 2100X, which is basically the next iteration of this one. It's just like this one. It's just got a few more bells and whistles than this one. It's still around $70, and it's a really, really good straight to USB microphone, so it plugs directly into the computer. And that's a really good mic. There's also the, what is it? The Shure SM, no. The SM57, I think is what it's called. The Shure SM57. It's another USB microphone that you can plug directly in. Part of the reason why I have the low key setup that I have a disabled daughter. We could have to pack everything up at a moment's notice and go to the hospital. We might be there for a week to 2 weeks at a time. So I try to keep my setup simple so I could pack it up and take it with me to the hospital, or, stream from a hotel or wherever we're staying while she's, laid up. But so I have to keep mine very simple so it's portable. But there's a ton of complicated stuff that you can put. I have a soundboard. Honestly, my streams sound better without using it. I haven't got all the kinks worked out of how to use it. I've tried to use it a few times, and it honestly has caused me more problems than good. I wind up going right back to the USB plugin. Other than that, it's just a very simple setup. I do have a desktop computer, and that is all set up very simply. So just keep it simple. A webcam. I have a Logitech C920 webcam that I've had for several years. It's nothing brand new. The ring light was $15 on Amazon. It wasn't an expensive one. The microphone was about $70. And then just, whatever you have for your lighting in the background. I'm going to be adding more to my stream setup, especially if we're going to be doing a lot of live streaming, but we're not there yet. Kiss it, keep it simple, get it started, and just go live. Even if all you have is your phone, you can connect with StreamYard and get you just a simple lapel microphone like this one, this Boya BYM1 microphone that we use with our phone. You can go live through StreamYard with your cell phone. Really simple, really easy, and just go live. The three most important things is you got to have a decent camera that'll do at least 720p, which every camera now makes 720p. You need lighting and you need sound. That's all you need to go live. Good sound, decent camera, good lighting. Keep it simple, keep it cheap, build it as you go. The little Boya BYM1, the lavalier mic, the little lapel mic that I just showed you, $20 on Amazon. That's what it cost me. And it's not going to be as good of a quality as having the stand mic, but it's better than nothing. It's a good place to start. The built-in phones, even if you have a pair of headphones, the most phones nowadays, they come with a pair of headphones and a little speaker. Even that is better than the built-in microphone on most cell phones. The echo. Yeah, that's the reason I don't use it so much for live streaming, but it does work in a pinch. It's better than what's built into the phone, but I mean, this one right here, this was a $70 microphone. I've seen others that are around 20 or 30 bucks that aren't bad, but when you start getting into tech gear, the cheaper you go, the more problems you're going to have. Usually the less likely it's going to work. This microphone, I've already had it about 3 or 4 years. It's not brand new. Um, Again, they don't even make this particular model anymore. That's why I recommend the next up level of microphone, because this particular model they don't even make. My webcam, the C920, they don't even make the C920 anymore. Now it's the C922. Um, and honestly, I've tried the C920 and the C922. I like the C920 better. Uh, the other thing is, like, if you're going to use a webcam, I don't use the webcam as my camera source. I have the camera software open, and that's my camera source, because then I can adjust my brightness. I can adjust my color corrections. I can adjust my sharpness and the blurriness and the focus. I can adjust all that stuff while I'm live by using my camera software as the source instead of the camera itself as my source in StreamYard. That's a little bit more technique, but this is why we're getting a little bit better. And your internet connection. That's another thing. You really need a good internet connection for live streaming. We upgraded our internet because we used to have a lot of pixelation and stuff in our live streams, and our pixelation got a whole lot better when we upgraded our internet. We're not at the top tier, but we're kind of in the middle of their tiers of internet service in order to be able to get good streams out. Again, build it as you go. That's what I say. See, Scully's House of Thrills is another option of doing published videos and keep your current channel, then eventually go with the second channel. Yeah, I can tell you one of the biggest mistakes that I've made was running multiple channels. That's why I'm pulling back to just doing this one channel and putting all of my attention and focus here, because running multiple channels has been one of the biggest mistakes that we've made. It's one of the biggest hampers to our growth. Every time I start trying to diversify my focus across different channels, it kills my growth on all the channels. If I focus on one, we grow. If I'm focused on multiple, we don't. So just think about that. It's the echo that drives me crazy. Yeah, I think I already addressed that. Focus primarily on being the best at reading like a creepy pasta. And Brendan's good too. He's got a lot of great advice. I've been following his channel. That's how he and I got connected. I watched some of his videos, and we talk about TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is one of the tools that we use to find opportunities for search. TubeBuddy actually is how I found Brendan's channel, because I was doing some research. I was doing some keyword research. He popped up as a search result in TubeBuddy, so I checked his channel out because I like to look at the competition whenever I'm looking at particular keywords I'm trying to target. And I liked his channel and I liked him, and so we started watching each other. Actually, if you look in the descriptions of my videos, including this one, you should have a link to entire studio setup. The only thing I don't have in there is the ring light. I just got the ring light last week, so I don't have it in my gear list yet, because I'm still testing it out to see how it works and to see if it's one that we're going to recommend. It's going pretty well, so I'm probably going to. But everything else in our studio, from my computer, the software we use, our editing software, all of that stuff is linked in our description. And we're starting to do some kind of review videos where we're actually sharing specific pieces of gear and what our thoughts are on it are. Yeah, but again, are people joining a members area to learn how to do publishing, or because you read them good content? That's That's the thing is they're two different audiences. The people that are going to listen to you reading the book are different than the people that would be there to learn how to write books. You're going to have some crossover in every niche. You'll have some crossover between these different audiences, but they are really different audiences. Yeah, that would be interesting. Do a live stream or something and have two different readers. Fist bumps. You need to start streaming. Of course, my opinion is everybody should be streaming. Streaming is my favorite way to create content, and I think everybody should start doing it. I think what people ask me a lot about, what direction content's going. I think, especially for educational content, live streaming is the way to go. For more entertainment content, shorts is the way to go. I think there's two extremes that the directions of content are going: short form content and long form content. And when I'm saying long form content, I'm saying live, doing live streams, doing these long live streams. I seem to get, like, I have live streams that we've done that were like 3 hours long that are getting 30 to 40% retention rate. And some of my short videos that are like 7 to 10 minutes long aren't getting 30 to 40%. So I think that that's the way people are consuming more content right now. They're people want either really, really short and fast, or they want that interaction. They want that community, and they want that ability to really see the real you. One of the things I love about live streaming is I get to kind of be myself, and I kind of relax more than doing recorded content. Oh, I did say that don't do different channels. I'm just saying they're talking to two different audiences. Um, yeah, well, they're actually, once a live stream is published, it's the same algorithm as a regular video. While you're going live, it's a different algorithm to be served. Yep, that's one of the reasons I love it, because we can sit here and ask questions. You can ask me questions and I can answer them right here on the spot, instead of you leaving feeling down because I didn't get to. And we're never going to get to, everybody's question, especially the more we grow. We're going to have to cut it off eventually. We can't just sit here and answer everybody's questions all night, but we get more opportunity to keep people engaged and get those questions answered right there on the spot, instead of them having to wait for another video to come out or for them to come back later, which oftentimes they may not ever come back. We can address those questions right there. And that's one of the reasons I love live. Even training, when I'm doing training stuff, I like to do it live. I kind of plan it out ahead of time, but then just go live and do it live. Well, that's true, but this is one of the things I was talking about earlier, Brandon. That's also fragmenting your audience. This is why a lot of people build a separate live streaming channel than their regular video channel, because you're fragmenting your audience when you just build up a live stream, or when you do the mixture of the two. When you're doing the recorded, heavily edited content versus the live stream, you're going to build two separate audiences, and there's some crossover, but the more of that fragmentation, the less percentage of your audience is engaging when you put out that next piece of content. So, I mean, it's an up and down. It's a balancing act. Everything we do is a balancing act of, do you reach less people? Do you reach more people? Are you reaching less people, but more targeted people, more engaged people? I would rather have a smaller audience and higher engagement than a huge audience that's not engaged in what I'm saying and what I'm doing. Because when I approach a brand, they're going to care more about my audience engagement than they are about how big of an audience I have. You're going to have, no matter what you do, Scully, you're going to have fragmentation in your audience. Our job is to just try to figure out ways to limit the fragmentation as much as we can. But you're going to get fragmentation in your audience. Unless every single video you put out is exactly the same, which you're not going to build much of an audience if you do that. And one more question that somebody had asked me: will shout outs benefit my channel? Because some people have been trying to get shout outs, they're trying to get other people to shout out. Shout outs done the right way can benefit your channel. Shout outs done the wrong way will do you absolutely no good. For example, my friend Adrian, just a couple of weeks ago, not that long ago, got a shout out from iJustine. iJustine, over 6 million followers on her channel. You know how much of that came over to Adrian's Farmstead channel? Maybe a handful, maybe 5 or 10 people. Did it really have an impact on her channel? Not really. Did it have an impact on her content? Hell yeah, because she got a free laptop out of the deal. But she didn't get a lot of traffic from that shout out. She didn't get a lot of people coming because it wasn't a niche specific shout out. It wasn't somebody who had the right audience for her channel. Now, if I was to get a shout out from D. Nimmin or Nick Nimmin or Daniel Batal or Brian G. Johnson or Daryl Eves or Think Media, that would benefit my channel because we share a similar audience. We share the same kind of content. We have the same kind of ideas and the same kind of strategies that we're teaching in our channel. So because we have that crossover of audience and we have that connection through having a similar message, those would benefit my channel. I would probably get more subscribers from that shout out. But if you get a shout out from a much bigger channel, but even more important than a shout out is building that relationship with that other channel, getting in there, getting to know them. And then if they're willing to shout you out, I would try to, push that just a little bit further, build that relationship further and say, would you let me come on a live stream with you? Would you let me do a collaboration video with you on your channel and get your face in front of their audience? Because that is more powerful than them shouting you out. Getting your face in front of their audience, being able to talk to their audience about what you do, that is going to be powerful. You getting in front of their audience and serving their audience and giving them some value and giving them something helpful, that is going to get more of them to want to come follow you because you gave them value already. You gave them something helpful. This is one of the things I do. Those of you that know me from the reselling community, a lot of y'all followed me because y'all found me on other people's live streams. And I wasn't up there on those live streams promoting my channel. I wasn't up there saying, yeah, everybody come follow me. I was up there answering people's questions, talking to people, explaining whenever I first started this channel, I was out there, I was talking about shorts and how shorts were working and people were asking questions about it. So I was just up there answering people's questions. I didn't say, oh, well, y'all want to know all about that stuff. Come follow my channel and I'll tell you about it over there. I didn't do any of that. It wasn't self-promotion. It wasn't about me. It was about getting out there and sharing what I knew and helping that audience where they were at. And then, saying if you want to go deeper, if you want to know more about this stuff than what we can share in the limited time we have here, then you can check out my channel. But it wasn't have to come subscribe to me to get any information out of me. I'm going to share a lot of value right up front. And 2, it was an invitation to join our channel, not a out come subscribe, go subscribe to this channel, go subscribe to that channel. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I don't think that stuff is really effective. I believe in making the opportunity available for the people that want to. But again, it's about how are you building your audience? Do you want to build an audience that's there because they want to watch you? Are you wanting to build subscribers just so you have a vanity metric so you can brag about how many subscribers you got? Because honestly, beyond the 1,000 subscribers that you need to monetize, subscriber count doesn't really freaking matter. Every single person I talk to tells you the same thing. all the big YouTubers will tell you subscriber count's nice. It's a vanity metric. It makes you feel good. Getting that silver play button. I'd love to have one of those silver play buttons on the wall right behind me. But guess what? It's a vanity metric. That silver play button is nothing but vanity. And I know that. I still want one, but I know it's all vanity. Hello. For those of y'all that don't know, at Prosperous Caregivers is my wife. That's one of our other channels. Hello, dear. Thank you, Scully. I appreciate it. Adrian left. Yeah, that's okay. I can talk about her when she's not here. I'm still saying good stuff about her. She's killing it, y'all. If y'all haven't subscribed to Adrian's new channel, go to Adrian Rose. Check out her channel. She is crushing this YouTube thing. One video, she's already over 100 subscribers on her new channel. A lot of that was self-promotion beforehand, before she promoting her new channel, getting out there. She's specifically targeting, she's doing YouTube growth stuff too, but she's specifically targeting the homesteading and farmsteading community with her channel. So she's giving very specific advice targeting that niche. But most of what she's saying is still the same stuff that we're saying here. And there's a lot of crossover. She's done channel reviews with me a couple of times. I'm going to be there in a few minutes, dear. Yeah. Well, you got to understand, Daryl Eves has been on YouTube from the beginning. And that's one of those people, if he speaks, I don't know, you were at his live stream last night. Notice how many of the big YouTubers are in there listening to what he has to say. Sean Cannell was in there. D. Nimmin, Nick Nimmin, Daniel Patel. They were all there, and they weren't just there to hang out. They were there because when Daryl speaks, they listen. Now, if this is something I tell people, if all the gurus in your niche listen to this one person when they speak about something, maybe you should shut up and stop asking how to get more subs and listen to what they're saying, because what they're saying has massive value for you if you'll listen to it. Six months exactly to the day. That's awesome. I have yet to have a channel blow up that fast. We might, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more targeted content. We've been doing some strategic planning and strategic thinking about our approach here, because that's one of my goals, is to build my subscriber base and build my following here on this channel. That's why we're dividing things into specific shows, and we're going to be doing more to try to connect with more people. So anyway, I have been on for almost an hour and a half now, and I've got to go get dinner ready and get things ready for the night. I do appreciate everybody coming, and you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for showing up, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Inspired Tubers, which is our mindset show where we talk about the mindset of growth on YouTube and how to shift your thinking so that you can position yourself better to connect with more people. So tomorrow's topic is actually all about one question: why? We're going to talk about why tomorrow and how it relates to everything you do on YouTube. So check us out tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you next time. And don't forget, Thursday, we'll be back doing channel reviews. The form is in the comments, and down in the description. If you want to submit your channel for a review, make sure you fill out that form before you go, and we'll see you at the next show. Y'all have a great night.